Hello and welcome to Life with Collective Purpose. I am Julie Ann, and today I have a wonderful guest, Sharon Mason, all the way from beautiful Vancouver. Welcome, Sharon.
Oh, thank you so much, Julie Ann. I am so just thrilled to be here, and I always love our conversations.
Me too. We were just saying, Sharon, that we better get on and start recording this interview because otherwise we could be talking for 4 hours because we enjoy talking so much.
Right.
So, Sharon, very exciting moment coming up. We are going to be launching your book that has been in the works for a while. We've had so much fun working together on that book. So tell us a little bit about the book. Tell us about the title, the subtitle, and all the exciting things that we've been working on for the last year.
Well, thanks, Julie. And I just want to thank you very much for the opportunity to share some information with your listeners and watchers, because this might be on YouTube, about my book. And just so that they know that there's something there they might want to read. And it's a really fun read. It's an easy read. The book is called For the Love of Real Estate, Tales from the Trenches. And people love that title because they go, oh, Tales from the Trenches. Oh, it sounds juicy, you know. And it kind of is.
It is.
Yeah. So that's the title. And I've been a realtor. I got my license in 1984.
Wow.
And so I have decades of experience in real estate. So I have lots of stories, and they're all the stories in the book are based on true stories. Of course, I changed people's names and the details of some of the locations just to protect people's privacy and their anonymity. So that's what the book is, and it's for everybody.
Yes.
It's for anyone who's interested in success in their life, success in their building their business, entrepreneurship, and just all the humanity walking through our lives every day, and the richness that brings to your life is really incredible.
Yes. Sharon, I have learned so much about real estate working with you on this book. And I think that's what's really amazing about this book. When you say this book is for everybody, it really is, because if you want to know the inside secrets about buying and selling real estate, then Sharon really just give you some of the most incredible inside stories. But if you're considering real estate and realty as a career, this book really gives you a really honest, authentic, real look into that world and the reality of it. Because I love some of your stories, Sharon, when you talk about some of the people that, they go, oh, I want to be a realtor because I love looking at houses. And you really do let people know what it's really like to be in real estate. Do you want to share some of these stories that you talk about in the book, just to give people an idea?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. And you're so right, because the thing is, people have no idea what we do.
Yes.
They think what we do is easy. And, you list a house, you put out a sign, and you take a bunch of money to the bank. Wrong. That is so wrong, because we are, real estate fees are big, but that gets split up between lots of people. Mm-hmm. So we don't get the money. So I do talk about that in the book. But one of my very, very favorite stories is the one about about the real estate know-it-all. This was a man, and some people think they know a lot about something, and it's just because they haven't had a chance to learn the real story. Mm-hmm. But this man asked me to come over and talk about selling their house. So I went over, and oh my goodness, the house was really a mess. Like, it was like a junkyard in the front yard. And I thought they needed a good junk removal service and possibly a lawnmower or 2 hungry goats. So, so I got to the house, and he was a very scruffy man, and his wife was very quiet. She kept her eyes down all the time. And anyway, so I looked around, and the house was clean, but it was so old that it didn't look clean.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so this is not one of the houses you love to look at, I'm telling
Right,
you.
right.
And so we sat down, and I started sharing the data with him about what his house is worth by using bank comparables and sales, like what an appraiser would use to
Mm-hmm.
establish the value of a property. So his eyes sort of glazed over. So I thought, well, that's probably not the best place for me to start with him. So I started a presentation about our company and what we do, and then his eyes glazed over some more. So I just stopped talking, and he said to me, "I'm not interested in any of that stuff, because I know the secret of selling houses."
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Oh, wow." I was purely cheeky. "You should have told me you're a realtor." And then he got, very silent. He says, "I'm not a realtor." I said, "Oh, well, are you in marketing?" "No." But he said, "I know the secret." And I said, "Oh, what is it?" He said, "Greedy realtors." "Oh, greedy realtors." I went, how does that work? He says, "Well, I'm going to offer the agent who brings me an offer a $10,000 bonus. And I want you to list my house at $50,000 above market value." I said, "So wait a minute, just let me make sure I got this right. You think that by offering a realtor $10,000 bonus, that's going to automatically increase the value of your property by $50,000? He said, "Yes, it will, because they are greedy realtors." I'm like, so I started putting all the stuff back in my briefcase, put on my running shoes, and because you have to learn, like Kenny Rogers said, when to hold them and when to fold them. And it was time to fold them. Because
Yes.
you can't be listing properties that aren't going to sell, because
Right.
it costs you money. Realtors, we spend all our own money up front. And if
Yes.
the house never sells, or if they change their mind, the seller never gets a bill from us.
Yes. Yes.
So, like, who would do that?
Well, you are entrepreneurs, right?
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't realize that being a real estate agent is you are an entrepreneur. Like, it's your own business, and like you say, you need to know all the market information, you need to know all the data, you need to know all of the legal side of things, all the financial side of things, and going and looking at a pretty house is not what it's all about. Right?
No. Oh, here's another story that I just absolutely love. I got a referral from a realtor in another province to sell a house near me. It was a mom who had passed away, and she left her house to her two kids, a son and a daughter. And the son was living in the house. And thing was, he was living in his mother's house rent-free. So he didn't want it to sell.
Of course.
Of course. So here's his sister in another province, who I'm sure was paying rent. And he's living rent-free on her inheritance.
Yes. Yes.
And that's in the chapter on estate sales.
Right.
It's a chapter that will make people run out and get their will done immediately.
Well, and that's a good point, Sharon. Is that's something that you do in this book. You're educating people about the pitfalls. You're educating people to really understand about the market, so that they don't make these kind of mistakes. And you're doing this from a basis of 30 years of knowledge. I mean, I don't think I know any anyone who knows anyone who has had 30 years experience in the real estate market. I mean, you are just a star. You are, and you're being recognized for that. So tell everybody some of the recent media interviews that you've been doing, because this really helps people to understand how exceptional you really are in terms of your level of knowledge, because you are a true mentor in this industry. So tell us, who have you been interviewed in the media so far? Who's been interviewing you?
Well, I will say on this podcast, because I'm totally out of the closet. Jason Priestley is my son. And I've not made a habit of telling people that, but he wrote the foreword for my book. And so now the cat's out of the bag, and everybody now knows that people say, oh, you're Jason's mom. And I turn it around and I say, no, he's my son.
Good for you.
and it's really kind of fun because he loves the book, and he read the first draft of it and he really loved it. So I asked him if he would consider writing the foreword, and he said he would just be honored, and he did. And then I started working with his publicist, Adrienne Kakulis of Rise PR. She's in Toronto and she's fabulous, and she's getting all these interviews and everything. So I mean, this is all new to me. I'm way out of my comfort zone. But anyway, Jason and I were interviewed by Hello Canada magazine, of all things.
That's amazing.
And I'm being interviewed tomorrow on Zoomer magazine by
Fabulous.
Zoomer. I'm so honored. And at the local newspaper here in Surrey is putting out a big print article about me and Jason and my book and what it's about and why it's so good for people to read. And, I'm just blown away. And then I've got these, E-Talk is going to do something with Jason and I and me, so the whole thing is just like a snowball rolling downhill.
Yes.
And then I've got these, this is really brutal, these early mornings interviews on morning shows. But guess what? They're all in the East. And now if they want me at 9 o'clock Eastern, the earliest one I have to do is at 5:15 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna do my hair and makeup and then I'm gonna sleep on my back. And then I'm just gonna get up and put this on, and because you only have to look good from here up and from the front. So
oh, so these are morning TV shows that are in Toronto?
Yeah, there's one in Hamilton on CHCH Morning, and there's another one at called CP24 Breakfast. They're live, and I'm doing a recorded one with Global, and so there's just the CTV morning show as well, and so I've got all these things lined up. So I've been practicing waking up early. Because
very good.
I just want to tell everybody one of my favorite because I'm actually quite funny, and the book is really funny.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of humor in it. And so one of my things is that one of my main goals in life is to be able to wake up when I'm through sleeping. And now I can't for a while.
And Sharon, I have to say, I hope you don't mind sharing your age, because I am so honored and I am so in awe of your energy and who you are in the world. You are such an empowered woman, and nobody would believe your age. Tell us how old you are.
Oh, okay. Well, it's okay to tell, because here's the thing, Julie. I never lie about my age. Only my height and my weight. So actually the cat's out of the bag too, because the newspaper articles and all that stuff, everybody knows I was born in 1943.
Wow.
So I'm 79.
Wow.
And my next birthday starts with an 8. Now, I'm still trying to figure out what that's supposed to mean, because for me, the way I think we should age is just be in denial.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I really mean that, because if you start buying into it, and if you
Yes.
start thinking like an old person, I mean, it's hard, you have to work at it to remain relevant
Yes.
in this
Yes.
world. And the only way you can remain relevant is to be who you are.
Yes.
So
Yes.
to me, authenticity is everything. And just be more of who you are, and be the best of who you are, and keep going forward and keep saying yes.
Sharon, you're such an inspiring woman. Here I am talking to somebody who is almost 80 years old. You are so alive. You're on fire. You're such a mentor and an expert in the real estate industry. But more than that, you're just an inspiration to any woman who, says, oh my goodness, oh, next year I'm 70 years old. I'm getting old. And it's like, oh my goodness, you need to go see Sharon, because she's going to show you that age means absolutely nothing, really. Like you're leaving such an amazing legacy, Sharon. And that's, to me, that's why I love helping people do books, because by writing this book and putting all your knowledge in this book, 30 years in the real estate industry, you're helping so many people and you're leaving a legacy. Everyone's going to know who Sharon Mason is for years and years to come, because books do that. Books live for a long time. They live on and they live on and they live on. And I know that this book is going to gain such momentum, because you really are standing there as the expert, the mentor in this industry, which can be a dog eat dog industry, and you're bringing the heart back to real estate. And you're showing what it really means to be in this industry is to actually help people, have a happy home, to help have a happy family, to actually find a place where they can make a home. And that, Sharon, I'm so honored to work with you, and I'm so honored to help you give birth to this book and have this amazing legacy for years and years to come. It's incredible.
Well, thank you so much, Julie, for those kind words. And I just want to say I'm standing on a lot of people's shoulders, and I wrote about that in the acknowledgements, because my ancestors came here from Europe, and they built this company. They built the country.
Yes.
They were the homesteaders. They plowed the land. They cut the trees. They endured the winters, which they weren't prepared for.
Yes.
I know that. And every generation of children has had it better than the previous, because of education.
Yes, because of education.
Education, it's everything. To the
Yes.
point where my dad, I dedicated the book to my father. And his story is that he grew up in abject poverty in the Depression, as did my mother. And when I was born, he was in the Royal Canadian Navy he was in the North Atlantic during the Second World War. Not a nice place to be.
No.
He was going from Halifax to Murmansk, delivering equipment for the war effort.
Wow.
And supplies and everything. And after he got back, my mom and dad took me, and they moved blessedly to Victoria, where I grew up. But my dad, I got this wonderful picture of him at the back of the book, and the author's inspiration, where I get to tell his story, in his Royal Canadian Naval uniform. And this picture was taken in 1943, the year I was born.
Oh, wow.
And Dad got his real estate license in the late 1940s. You needed $2.50 and a pulse. Fortunately, he had both. So then he realized what a great business it was. And in the 1950s, his partner was he was a cabinet minister in the Wacky Bennett government in BC. And they were the movers and shakers who brought in the first Real Estate Act, which were the laws that cleaned up the real estate business. So that's the legacy that I come from with my heart and soul here. I say I'm in real estate, and real estate's in me. So
Yes.
now that legacy is passed to me. And last year, my daughter, Justine Priestley, she got her real estate license and she's working with me now. So the legacy is getting passed on to her.
So beautiful. It's
So
so
just
beautiful.
standing on people's shoulders and
Mm.
standing on the shoulders of my loyal clients who, you know, this one gal, I love her, Lorraine Jensen. I first met her and I sold her house in 1984. And 2 years ago, I helped her sell that house and buy a condo. And she's the one that actually got the ball rolling for me on this book, because 18 months ago, around there, she said to me, Sharon, when are you going to write that book? And you know what, Julie, I said, you know what, Lorraine, at my age, I better hurry up.
I'm
So
so glad. I'm so glad you did.
So the next thing I did was call you. And I just want to say that when you pointed out to me that this was part of my legacy, that did it. That I went, okay, I'm going to write this.
Yes.
So,
yes.
and I just want to give a shout out and give lots of accolades to your company, because I am just blown away by what you people have done for me.
Oh, thank you,
You know,
Sharon.
you've helped me believe in myself, you know, because I'm actually quite, you know, I guess people say I'm humble, but, you know, I don't feel like, you know, I'm that special, or, you know, I mean, I know I work hard and I've had lots of success, but, you know, inside me, you know, I'm still just a mom, a daughter, a mom, an aunt, a sister, you know, I'm
Yes.
really who I am. And so to have people come around me and kind of lift me up enough to believe enough to do this, because it, you know, honestly, writing this book and getting it published, it was like stepping off a cliff.
Yes.
And I said to my friend Cindy Knight, who's going to be at my book launch on the 21st, I said, I feel like I stepped off a cliff and landed on a foreign planet. She says to me, well, Sharon, I thought you were going to say that you stepped off a cliff and landed on another cliff. And I went, you know, that's pretty much it.
You know, I hear this from a lot of people. Influence publishing, in the last 12 years, we've published over 300 authors. And, you know, the one thing that they all say is that writing a book and publishing a book absolutely changes their lives, because just like you say, you know, it's a legacy and it's a way of you actually appreciating your own knowledge and your own experience, because you get to actually, I just before we started this interview, you were telling me about recording the audiobook, and you were saying how amazing it was to actually read your own book and your own words about your own life. And, you know, that's what books do. They give you this opportunity to truly reflect and appreciate, you know, what you've been through in your life. And you know, and then just like you say, that lifts you up and people recognize that. And then all these media people want to have interviews with you, and all these people want to come and be with you to celebrate your book launch. And that's because you deserve it, Sharon. That's because you've worked so hard for so long. You've helped so many people have happy homes, and it's just wonderful that you have this opportunity to leave a legacy. So we're celebrating on Monday. Oh my God! Tell us what we're going to be doing. It's the 21st. It's the first day of spring, and it seems so appropriate to be launching this book on the first day of spring. We will be doing an online launch later. There may be a live celebration, but for the actual book launch on the 21st, it's going to be online. We will be on a platform like this on Zoom, and we will have lots of people coming in and sharing their stories with Sharon, sharing successes. And it's going to be such an amazing day, Sharon. I'm so excited about it. Tell us about some of the people that are going to come and join us to celebrate on Monday.
Oh, right. Well, you know, it's going to be a good selection of people. You know, my clients will come on, you know, and say a few words about me, and some friends, some good friends will be there. And some people who are going to be there, we've been friends and I've known them for, 40, 50 years.
Wow.
We've been friends. My one of my longest friends, Maisie Hoy, she is a very, very well-known film editor in LA, and she's going to be there. I come from a theater background and the Winnipeg Ballet, and I got some of that stuff in the book, but that's not what it's really about. But so Maisie and I did improvisational theater together for years, and we kind of raised our kids along the same veins of being a benevolent dictator but having a really democratic household. So she's going to be there. And one of my favorite movies in the whole world that she edited is the Joy Luck Club. She edited that one. That's
wow.
a beautiful, beautiful show.
Wow.
And she worked for Robert Altman for many, many years, editing his films before he passed away. So,
Wow.
she's like royalty. And Yvonne Hoganes, the owner of Mallory's Fashion Network, she is a well-known award-winning entrepreneur, won all kinds of awards for entrepreneurship and giving,
Beautiful.
supporting women, and being very active in Seroptimists and all those kind of causes. So she's a big heart walking around the
Beautiful.
planet.
Beautiful.
Mary Pichette, who's one of your
Yes.
authors, my dear friend, and maybe the kind of my son of the heart, Russ Hamilton, who owns the Connection Lab, where they do terrific coaching with companies and people. Just amazing. And I've known him for over 40 years, since I was a teacher, and I was his teacher when he was in grade 8.
Wow. Wow. I see these long lasting relationships. It's so beautiful to see. And so anyway, everybody's welcome to come and join us on March the 21st at the online book launch. We will post the Facebook link with this podcast so that you can go and register for the event. And then by registering, you will get the Zoom link so that you can come and join us at the event. And then we'll also be doing a special launch price for the book to encourage you all to buy it early in the morning, because we have got a special limited offer with limited stock. And so we're asking everybody to please come and buy the book early. Our goal is to make Sharon a Amazon #1 bestseller. And by having this event and asking everybody to order the book early in the morning, I'm pretty confident that we're going to get there, Sharon. So it's going to be a whole day of celebration, and we are just absolutely excited about this. And so you can get all the information from Influence Publishing. You can go to influencepublishing.com, and if you click on authors and click on Sharon's page, you'll be able to see all the information about the launch. We'll also put the information on this podcast, which will be broadcast on the Friday before the launch on Monday, and register for the event so that you can get the Zoom link and come join us, help us celebrate. We're very, very excited about this book launch on Monday with Sharon. Sharon, do you have any last words?
Oh, well, I just want to say that I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful for this experience and for all the support I've had and for all the blessings that have been just showered on me, really my whole life. We all have ups and downs and difficult times, but I feel like this is I'm kind of entering like act 4 of my life, and it's kind of a good way to do it. And I just encourage everybody, it's the rocking chair test. I call it the rocking chair test. When I'm sitting in my rocking chair, I want to be saying, I'm so glad I did, and not, I wish I had.
Yes. Yes, that's so true.
And I'm just saying that from the position of an elder, a tribal elder here on the planet.
Yes. Yes. Yes, and I am so honored to be your publisher and to have helped you leave your legacy, Sharon, because you have an amazing story, and it's incredible for you to share that with and your knowledge with so many people. So I'm very honored to be working with you.
Thank you, Julie, and ditto right back at you. I just love you and everybody on your team. You guys are just the best.
Thank you, Sharon. Okay, so join us on Monday, Thursday of spring, March 21st, and find out all about Sharon's book and all about the real estate market, whether you are just in the buying and selling market, or you're actually thinking of being in that career yourself, or you are considering walking into that world. Then we highly recommend that you get this book and come and join us on Monday for the book launch. Sharon, it's been so lovely to interview you, and I can't wait till Monday. I'm so excited.
Yes, we're all very excited. Yes, yes, and thank you everyone for being here with us and listening. And you have a wonderful day.
You too, Sharon. Thanks so much, and see you soon.
Thank you, Julie.
Bye.
Bye.